Revelation.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks.
66.
Question 66. Question 66 says, according to the guide, our knowledge of God determines 3 things. Mention 1.
How we understand the Bible?
Is that your final answer? That's correct. 2 marks.
Number 95.
Number 95. Question 95 says, what collective name is given to the books of James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John to 3 John, and Jude?
They are called the General or Catholic Epistles.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks.
113.
Question 113. Question 113 says, when things go wrong in this world, what does the Bible do?
The Bible not only diagnoses the problem seen, but also points at the solution, faith in Christ.
Is that your final answer? Like your final answer? Correct. 2 marks. 101. 101. It says, give one reason why we seek understanding of the Bible. For the same reason, a mechanic seeks to understand a repair manual.
Means that if we sin, Jesus Christ is there to cleanse us from all unrighteousness.
That is wrong. Next person, please. Your question number 68. Okay. Question number 68 says, God is often described as omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, meaning that he is dash. God is often described as omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, meaning that he is dash.
He is all powerful, all knowing, and is in every place.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 106. 106. Okay? Question 106 says, what events are described in the Apocalypse? What events are described in the Apocalypse?
The event described in the Apocalypse is the triumph of Jesus in his second coming. The prophecy of the end times and the triumph of Jesus in his second coming.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for that. Your question number, please. 51. Question 51 says, quote a Bible passage listed in the guide that tells us that God is all-knowing.
Proverbs chapter 15 verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. NIV.
Is that your final answer? That's correct. So, question 20. Question 20 says, in what year was the first English Bible completed?
1611.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for that. Question number, please. 126. Question 126 says, give one reason why we seek understanding of the Bible. For the same reason, a soldier seeks to understand a dispatch from his commander.
It means that obeying God's command brings honor to him and guides us in the way of life, and those commands are found in the Bible.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks. Your question number, please. Question 27. Question 27 says, list the 3 major things in the books in the second part of the Old Testament discussed. List the 3 major things in the books in the second part of the Old Testament discussed. List the 3 major things in the books in the second part of the Old Testament discussed.
I will understand the Bible. How we will live on it and where we will live after the death of it.
That is wrong. Oh, 78. Question 78 says, when God is referred to as omnipotent, it means
God is all powerful.
Is that your final answer? That's correct. 2 marks for you. Question 32 says, what 3 books are found between the books of Jonah and Zephaniah? List them from the last to the first. What 3 books are found between the books of Jonah and Zephaniah? List them from the last to the first.
Zephaniah, Habakkuk, Micah, Jonah.
That final? That's wrong. We have Habakkuk, Nahum, and Micah. Next person, please. What question number? 83. Question 83 says, what is the meaning of testament?
Covenant, contract. I say covenant.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for her. Please, let's be faster. Your question number, please. Sorry? Question 91. Question 91 says, when God is referred to as being love, what does it mean?
He demonstrated his love by giving his son Jesus Christ for our sins.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for you. Question 23. Question 23 says, list the parts of the Old Testament as contained in the guide.
The Pentateuch, the historical book, the poetry and wisdom book, the major prophet and the minor prophet.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for me. Next question. Question number 61. Question 61 says, quote a Bible passage listed in the guide that tells us that God is merciful. Don't quote what another person has quoted. Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for you. Question 109 says, according to the guide, where in the Bible can we find how God communicates his love to us?
1 John chapter 4, verse 16. Actually, only one, right? Only one. Only one. 1 John chapter 4, verse 16.
Is that your final answer? Wrong. John chapter 3 verse 16. 1 John chapter 3 verse 1. 1 John chapter 3 verse 1, verse 4 and verse 10. Please, next question. Question 43. Question 43 says, quote a Bible passage listed in the guide that tells us that God is all-powerful.
Luke chapter 1 verse 37. For nothing is impossible with God.
Is that your final answer? Correct, still looks for now. Next question. Question number 100 okay. Complete the following sentence. The Bible predicts dash, sounding a clear dash and how to avoid it.
The Bible predicts what the end time it will be like, sounding a clear warning of impending judgment and how to avoid it.
Is that your final answer? That's correct. Number 25. Question 25 says, list the books that make up the second part of the Old Testament.
Job, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentation, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Hosea, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi.
That is wrong. Next person, please. Number 8. Question number 8 says, the Bible is the dash word of God.
The inspired word of God.
Is that your final answer? That's correct. 2 marks. Next person, please. Sir? 1, 2, 3. Question 1, 2, 3 says, which book is the 20th book of the New Testament?
James.
that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks. The next person, please. Your question number? Question 99. Question 99 says, which of these books does not belong to this list? Which of these books does not belong to this list? Amos, Obadiah, Lamentations, Haggai, and Zechariah.
Lamentations.
That's correct. Question 90 says, the Bible is a literary masterpiece containing dash.
It contains history, laws, prophecy, poetry, dramatic stories, biography, and revelation.
Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks. Next question. Question number 108. Question 108 says, was the New Testament written in Hebrew? Was the New Testament written in Hebrew? Was the New Testament written in Hebrew Greek? Was the New Testament written in Hebrew or Greek?
The New Testament was written in Greek.
Correct. 2 marks on that. What is the question number? 37. 97. Number 97 says, which of these is not among the poetry and wisdom books of the Bible? Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Songs of Solomon, Ecclesiastes. Which of these is not among the poetry and wisdom books of the Bible? Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Songs of Solomon, Ecclesiastes. Is that your final answer? Correct. 2 marks for you. The next person, please. 82. Question 82 says, mention the characteristics of the Bible. Mention the characteristics of the Bible.
The Bible is the inspired word of God. The Bible is God's revelation of himself to man and his plan of salvation. The Bible is the rule of faith and practice.
Your final answer. Wrong. The Bible, the characteristics: inspiration, inerrancy, authoritative, illumination, and unity. Next person, please. Your question number. Question number 29 says, name the periods in which the books of the fourth part of the Old Testament were written. Name the periods in which the books of the fourth part of the Old Testament were written.
Shortly before the captivity of the Israelites or exiles and exiles.
Is that your final answer? They were written shortly before Israel was taken into captivity and during the exile. 1 mark. Your question number, please. 128. Question 128 says, give one reason why we seek understanding of the Bible. For the same reason, an avid reader seeks to understand his favorite author's book.
The Bible reveals to us the person and glory of God as expressed in the Son, Jesus Christ. John chapter 1 verse 1 to 18.
Is that your final answer? Talk to the mic.
Number 24.
Question number 24. List the books that make up the first part of the Old Testament.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Correct. Still answer. Next question, please. Question 31 says, name the third book of the fifth part of the Old Testament.
Amos.
Correct. 2 marks for her. Next question, please. Please face the mic.
103.
103. One of the general episodes in the list stated Philippians, 1 Corinthians, James, John.
James.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That's correct. 2 marks. Question number 17. Question number 17 says, how many chapters of the Bible are contained in the first and second divisions of the Bible?
929 chapters are contained in the first division of the Bible, which is the Old Testament, and 260 chapters are contained in the second division of the Bible, which is the New Testament.
Please repeat your answer.
929 chapters are contained in the first division of the Bible, which is the Old Testament, and 260 chapters are contained in the second division of the Bible, which is the New Testament.
Correct. 2 marks. Next question. Talk to the mic, please.
Question 5.
Question 5 says, why is the Bible described as a literary masterpiece?
Because it contains history, laws, poetry, prophecy, biography, dramatic story, and revelation.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct. 2 marks, please.
Question 96.
Question 96. The Apocalypse describe. What does the Apocalypse describe? Please, no more read.
It describes the triumphant victory of Jesus Christ and our reigning with Him.
That is wrong. The next person, please. One hundred and 115. Question 115 says, how many books and divisions or parts has the New Testament?
The New Testament has 27 books with 5 parts.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct. 2 marks. Pick the number you talk to the right, please.
Question 62.
Question 62 says, quote a Bible passage listed in the guide that tells us that God is merciful. Don't quote what someone else has quoted.
Psalm 103 verse 8.
Someone has quoted that.
your time is ticking.
Immediately you get your script, write your name on top of it. If you are not yet settled down, you are wrong.
Let's listen carefully. I say that we have 10 minutes for this exercise. And immediately you hear hands up, don't do anything. I hope we know we have cameras here.
Don't open the envelope yet until you are asked to do that. Write your name on top of your sheet now. Write your name on top of the sheet now. Your paper on your screen, on your seat, don't collect it. Someone will come to pick it. I believe we must have done this in our homes, so you shouldn't be. Every sleep has. Remember what you hear and up. Just stand up from your. Extra 30 seconds. 30 more seconds. And once you say stop, please beg in the name of God. Just stand up, leave everything, and walk out of this hall. God will bless you. Stop. Don't start getting out of the hall. Don't do any other thing. Cameras are rolling. Don't leave the hall. Leave the hall. God bless you as you do that. Just be going. Don't touch anything. Leave the hall. Don't touch anything. You are blessed. A double blessing. As we leave. Leave the hall.
Uvuru Queen Esther, 21 marks. Etim Abasi Konke, 20 marks. Alright. Let's stop mentioning the marks, let's just mentioning the names. Ekene, 18 marks. Onyebuchi Promise, 18 marks. Ngadiko's Promise, 20 marks. Anyanwụ Dorcas, 17 marks. Carlo Chidima, 17 marks. Etim Abasion On, 20 marks. Gadima Love, 18 marks. Anyanwụ Febo, 21 marks. Ovuru Queen Esther, 21 marks. Adielechi Glory, 17 marks. Umoru Victory, 17 marks. Ajana Amazing, 18 marks. Okore Excel Sam, 19 marks. Sunday Victor, 18 marks. Ohakwe Amarachi, 17 marks. Are they up to 15? Are they up to 15? Please, let's count. Are they up to 15? Are they more than 15? Are they up to 15? Okay, they are 15. So these are the people that will be proceeding to the next stage. Remember, we said God is continuing. Those of us that did not make it to this next stage, we want to congratulate you at least for coming to this level. And we want to wish you the best as you come back next year. Please, can you kindly leave the seat? God bless you. Now we're ready together for them and we're the seat.
Very bad too, but I thank God that I made it within this day. Well, in my heart and since I've been expecting to get a second or third position, like God's grace. But if God wants me to be the first position, well, thanks be to God. Thank you.
I am Eva from Mayoni District, Southwest. Yesterday's competition, for me, I thought it was scary, but as time went on, it was good because it was okay. I got my questions and my grace of God. And at the end of the competition today, I just got first.
Good morning, all. My name is Abasikwam of Blue District, South 21. Yesterday's competition was a tough one too, but grace saw me through, and I made it. And I hope today the grace will continue to keep me through the grace. Thank you.
Good morning all, I'm glad to close with my name from Women's Secondary School District, South East Zone 1. Yesterday's competition was really tough and tense, but I scaled mainly by the grace of God, and today I just hope to be outstanding.
Good morning everyone, my name is Kodex Sam, District, South East Zone 3. From yesterday's competition, I don't have words to express it. So horrible to me. I really felt on the road, but God was with me. So for today, my English is going to be the end of the grace. I hope and I pray that grace will help me and work out with my shoulders, and you know what that means. Message.
I'm Ajana Amazing from Assemblies District, Southwest. Yesterday's competition was not so easy. In fact, I don't know the issue. But by His grace and grace, I hope that this will be through the increasing level. So by His grace, I will be the position.
Good morning everyone, my name is Swankweki. Abuja District, not Central Zone 1. Actually yesterday everyone knew that this was too bad. That the quiz was tough, and even me too, I was after it, I never thought that I would ever qualify. But by the grace of God, I was so glad that I had my name. And I believe that favor and grace of God continue to continue today. I will end up today with a good lesson. Thanks.
Good morning, all. Standing before you is Pt2, Southeast. Pt2 is Enugu South Street, Southeast London. Yesterday's quiz was taught by the perfect grace of God I still do, and I wish to be the number first in this competition. By the grace of God.
I was quite afraid, but God saw me through, and by His grace, I have been to the leading edge. I believe that by God's grace, I'll be able to perfect outstanding.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sonny Victor from Lagos District, Southwest Zone 2. I thank God for the successful completion of the 10th foundation of the competition. And by His grace, I scaled through. I know that hitherto the Lord helped me. And my prospect, I submit to God's will, and I hope that God will help me. Amen.
Good morning, my name is Raj from Southeast District. Yesterday it was something else. I can't believe it. I felt my first 2 days. It was by the grace of God I'm here today, and I know that the grace of God will get me to the championship. I will come out today and standing champions for this day. That's my wish. I just want to success.
Tomorrow victory by day from Assemblies District now down to 5. Actually, yesterday's competition was kind of tough. There was a time I almost lost hope. I was just like God's divine breakthrough. And He actually did it for me. You know what? It's not intelligence. It's just when God is working. That's how it was. And I pray that that's the grace that kept me through yesterday. We also see me through today and make me all excited for us.
My name is Angela Chifleri from Abba Central District, Southeast Zone 1. So yesterday's competition, I would say it was really wonderful. It was God's way, though questions were really tough. But I thank God made me to make it through the leading age. And I hope that today I will come out with a very nice result. Thank you, and God bless you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carlo Chidema. Mokibe South District, Southeast Zone 2. Wow, yesterday's quiz was something else. I don't think I've ever been this tense in my life before. I've attended so many quiz competitions, but yesterday was something else. I didn't believe that I could be that tense, but thank God it worked out fine, and I was successful. I went to the next stage, and I believe that by the end of today, God will perfect the best in my life.
Hi, friends. I am Lucas by name from Oyo District, Southwest Zone 1. Well, yesterday's competition was somehow. I was so scared today that I never knew I would make it to this stage. But God's grace saw me through, and I still hope that that grace took me through today. That even at the end of the day, I will still emerge as the best. Thank you.
I wish you